right, hey, welcome back to the Sloppy Modeler, welcome back to the show, and welcome back to the Bandai 144th Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon Levitating Edition. And I don't think I could say that again, but very happy to be bringing this one across the table, across the finish line. Lots and lots of challenge, but I think we're done. Significant challenge with this kit was the magnetic levitation. I'm beginning to understand why we don't see the magnetic levitation trains going all across the United States, or anywhere for that matter across the world. It's a challenge. It's very difficult to do. It's not free energy. It takes a lot of work, and I found that out, but I was very gratified in order to finally bring this to a conclusion, if you will. We didn't build just one kit. The Bandai 144th Rise of Skywalker is amazing. It's an awesome kit. It comes with virtually everything you need to produce a wonderful Millennium Falcon. We also built during this time the 1/200 scale Millennium Falcon from Revell. That's the click and play. It just snaps together, and all I did was weather it and put it together. Very, very pleased with that. It's literally a play toy though. Then we built the Bandai 1/350th kit, and that's a beautiful kit. If you want something to give to your kids, or give to your wife to build, or give to your husband to build, that's the one, because it's fast, it's easy, it seems to work really well, and it goes together, and it's got great detail. Fantastic detail, as a matter of fact. And if you wanted to weather something up, that would certainly be one of my recommendations. We then also built the 1/241 scale Revell snap tight kit, and that's a fantastic kit. It's got a clear back wall for the engine. It's got clear parts for the gun turrets. It's got clear parts for the canopy. Really, that's a neat little component right there. So that is done and taken care of. So we got that off and running. So essentially, basically, learned a lot about pulling this forward as far as crossing the finish line with a levitating kit. I'm really happy with the base. Working that out for the first time to figure out what it takes to do sand and gravel and all of that. I did have to make some modifications towards the end. I think that the Bandai 144 kit is way out of scale to my base, and it's a pretty sizable base. And frankly, that 1/241 works fantastically, and you're going to see what it takes to pull that together here in the build. Very happy to be done with this. You'll see in some of the footage that I kind of lost patience, kind of started to lose my mojo, and that's okay, because I did two other quick kits that are going to drop in quick succession after this video that turned out pretty nice, and kind of got the mojo juices rolling again, and I'm working on yet another one here. So back at the modeling, back at getting some of this stuff done. This was a huge step forward in doing stuff I hadn't done before. Weathering to a large degree, magnetic levitation, doing the sand and the gravel, and all of that stuff was kind of a first time out. So for that, I'm pleased to have gone through the experience. Would I want to do this for every kit? Absolutely not. But we're working on some stuff to make it more enjoyable the next time out. So for this round, thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, your shares, your comments. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can at least get some ideas on how you can do your stuff when it comes to building something like this, because I would challenge you to give it a shot, give it a try. So for that, we will let the video roll, and we appreciate your time. Thanks. All right, hey, welcome back to the Sloppy Modeler. Welcome back to the build log number 4, and hopefully the finale. I think we're going to get to it in this regard. So we are making some pretty decent progress on the little Revell 1/241 scale kit. I've light blocked the inside and painted the outside with my standard wedding cake white, which I really like that for that ship. Went ahead and drilled in my 4 lights. I've got 2 white ones here, 2 white ones there, 2 red ones there, and I've put in a light in the cockpit, and then those have been wired in, and they've got all the resistors on them. So I did want to make this a internally rechargeable battery driven system. So I've gone with the 3.7 volt 150 milliamp battery. This is I think 20 millimeter by 30 millimeter by 3 millimeter battery. And what I've done is I've taken my TP4506, I'm sorry, 4056 battery charger with protection and USB-C port, and so that's got batteries connected to it. I just have to do battery cabling out to power all of this. In addition, we're going to have 1 segment of our Cobb-on lighting, Cobb chip-on-board lighting. This is blue, and I really love this stuff for this. And then that will be hot glued into that back section right there, and it's just the right size. As you can see, it's going to be a nice piece. I've also frosted the back, added in some of that styrene as we talked about. The next step is really connecting this here. The way I intended to do that, or way I have done it, and I want to be careful I don't mess up my wiring here, but basically these magnets, they are crazy. Basically, I've put a hole in the front of that, and this fits there. It does not fit, there's not enough room to do my circular magnetic charging, so this will go in something like so and connect into that connector there. And actually, if I plug this in, I think it'll probably show it's charging. And then the battery will fit something like this in the back, my light there, and then my magnet on top of it. And that is the game plan as we're talking about wiring on the inside of this. I've got to glue this down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in black electrical tape and then epoxy it down. I already did this once and I lost a couple of lights, so I ripped everything out and I'm back to a fresh start on this. And then once I have this epoxy down with 20 minute plastic epoxy, this stuff works great because unlike other epoxies, this Loctite plastics will connect and bond all this stuff, and it cures. It cures dry and hard. I don't know about you, but I've had other epoxies that just kind of stay tacky for far too long, and that is not what I'm looking for in the long run. Then I'll put a switch again back in here, a little slide switch from Chanson. It's 3 pins, 3 milliliter long, so that's a tiny switch, and that'll go in there, and then we'll be able to cap this and go from there. Now I have also, if I can find it, painted the and masked and painted the bridge canopy. So that's got this white on the outside, and I'm going to leave the mask on. I'm going to get some clear coating on that as we go. But I'm pretty excited about that. Next steps are to epoxy this down and then connect all of my wiring to it off of 2 leads that are going to come off of, those 2 leads come off of this section right here and here with a positive and a negative. The positive will go to the switch and then come out, and then the negative will just go to all of the negatives. There's no real circuit, flashing circuit or anything. It's just lights that are going to be supplied on this. And then once that's in, then I can come back around and simply close this up like so. And that is just going to be a very cool little deal. And you can see that that battery is charged. Now at 150 milliamps, that's about what a coin battery is, because that's about the same size as a coin battery. But this has the protective circuitry in it. It's got the circuitry coming off of this. I'm not worried about it discharging or charging too far, and everything will actually fit once we get in and rolling. So I'm going to continue with this, and then when we come back, we'll give you an update on the wiring and trying to close this thing up, and then we'll come back for the final painting, the stickers, and the weathering, and hopefully be done by that point. Okay, we'll be back. Thanks. Okay, welcome back to the Millennium Falcon, the Levitating Millennium Falcon. I have clamped the bejesus out of this thing, and Jesus is not happy even so. I'm still going to have a few gaps, I think. This is everything you can do to get this closed up, and then some. A few parts that are going to have to clamp or fill afterwards, but I am at my patience level with this. I've lost more than enough LED lights and had enough challenges with getting it closed up, so I have closed it up. I did use this, I really like this Expert, it's a Revell plastic glue, and by scraping all the interior paint off of that on both sides where it mates up, it really does a pretty nice job, hopefully. I'm going to let this sit overnight, and hopefully we won't burst any seams, but it was tight, and it was really tight. So we'll see what happens with that. Once we bring it out of the clamps and it stays together, we'll throw on a clear coat real quick, top and bottom, throw on the stickers and do the weathering and call it good. I am out of patience with this. I've lost more than enough. I even lost another light closing this up. So I am out of patience. That happens sometimes, and I am moving on to the next project after we quickly get this one accomplished, finished, done, whatever you want to call it. Very cool little kit. If I wasn't trying to float this thing, it wouldn't be nearly the challenge, but that's one of the challenges. So we're gonna finish this up. I've got two new very cool projects I'm working on simultaneously with this, because I was tired of working on this, but I want to get this done and out of the way. And those are going to be a lot of fun. We'll have, and they're quick. They're kind of cleanse your palette builds after all this other stuff here. So let me finish this up, and I'm going to start working on the other piece, and we'll go from there. Talk to you in a bit. Alright, so walking through some clips of the Millennium Falcons. Here's the 1/44th kit, and I really like the scoring you see there to the right of the canopy, to the left of the center line. And that's got some silver highlights in it that turned out really nice. Good shot of the front end with the canopy on the cockpit and the two headlights up front, the radar dome. This is a beautiful kit. If you wanted to put together a 1/44 scale kit, these Bandai kits I just don't think can be beat. They got great detail, they go together fantastically, and they look amazing. Here's a good shot of that round charge port that I use. It's magnetic, so you don't have to plug a bunch of stuff in. You also get some nice shots of the sidewalls and the lighting reflecting off of the wooden table that this is sitting on. Here's a great shot of the back of the engine with that blue light. Using that cob strip, that chip on board, I just really am pleased with the way that turned out. And that's a nice piece over that from Bandai itself. Moving on, you see here the other side of the ship, some of that rust work that I put on using that enamel stain. You're going to see the lights reflecting off of the table again, and the underneath lighting on this really turned out well. And I didn't even lose one LED on the whole time, so that's very cool. One thing I am a little bit, I just don't know my Millennium Falcon well enough, but it seems like that sidewall is just a touch too shallow. It's not quite as deep or wide as one would think. But it's got great detail in it. It takes wash as well, and it looks amazing when it all comes together. You're also seeing here the headlights on the two mandible jaws, and I'm really pleased with the way that those turned out. And then the weathering on the side of the tunnel that goes back into the Millennium Falcon itself. And here you get a little better shot of that weathering on the tunnel, the weathering on the radar dome, or dish, I guess is a better phrase for it. And that scoring that's on the mark where it must have hit something at some time in its history. Here's a shot from the top, and you can see that weathering didn't overpower the white. We used that wedding cake white, and to me, I think that turned out really pretty nice from a color perspective, and then using that gray wash over it really gave me the look I was looking for. Nice shot of the bottom, and these are all decals as far as the mustard and the greenish gray and the red. And the decals on this were actually pretty nice. I would certainly recommend that over the stickers that come with it. You're about to see here the blue reflecting off of the back of this, and then all the lights lit up. And like I said, once you see that in person, it doesn't blow the camera out, and it's just, in my opinion, that cob lighting without any diffusion certainly does a trick for me. Here's a top shot of some of that mustard color and that the scarring and the mandibles and the access ports in the mandibles, and then also some of the light colored gray panels in the far right there. Bandai just pulled this kit together without any problem. Nice shot of the canopy, and the fact that that's clear, and then you have to light lock it. Particularly challenging, but once you get through it, it really makes for a nice canopy and a nice cockpit as far as that goes. And then here's another shot of the canopy, and the canopy on top where the gun turrets are. Some more of that weathering and the sidewalls and the weathering across the ramp tunnel. I think that looks really good. So for me, putting this together on this 1/44 scale kit was really a fantastic opportunity to push my skill set, and I think it really helped to improve my skills as we went forward. So moving forward with the 1 to 241 scale kit and the Bandai 1 to 350 scale kit, you can see they're similar in size, but certainly that 241 kit certainly has more internal space to it. It's got the clear canopy, and in my opinion, it's just about as nice a kit as the Bandai 1 350 scale kit. I did hand paint the 1 241 scale kit, and then just use the stickers on the Bandai 1 to 350 scale kit. Both are lit. I certainly had my challenges with squeezing all those electronics into both of these units. The Bandai 350's kit has just a couple of AA battery. I'm sorry, a couple of watch batteries and a switch, but you can open that and close it again when you want to replace those batteries. 241 kit, as you saw, has got a rechargeable kit in it. It's got a rechargeable battery in it. It's got the magnet in it. And it's got a nice set of lights that go with that, from the yellow light in the cockpit to the white headlights to the red mind your headlights underneath, and a couple of white lights there. So very, very satisfied with the way that turned out. I think I might have used a little bit too much rust on the 1 to 241 kit, and hardly any rust on the Bandai kit. Here you can see the headlights are all working, and you've got weathering done again with some enamel stains, and that's primarily all I really used on this were those enamel stains, and for my money, I think it turned out really, really nice. Here you can see the 241 kit, the back end of that, and you'll see a full view of both of those in a minute. But you can really see the additional bulk that 1 to 241 kit has over the 1 to 350 kit. Again, give these to your kids, to your family to build. They go together fast, they're easy to paint, and I think that they would enjoy doing them. Here are the differences. You can see that kit on the right has got just the open back, and then I had to drill all those little holes in the 1 to 350 kit. So that was a significant difference and much easier to do on the Revell kit, if you will. Also here, what you're going to see is just those red lights reflecting off of the table beneath you, and then some of the other lighting that goes with it, some of the rust, as opposed to the other one. The switches are on the same place on both sides there in the ramp nacelles. And then a final piece look at that is just the look again of a couple of Millennium Falcons coming at you. Very, very excited to do these. They turned out really nice, especially the hand painting on that Revell kit. And I would certainly recommend these to anyone that wants to do a nice little kit of the Millennium Falcon. All right, and just as a comparison, here are 5 completed Millennium Falcons. Up in the front is the 1 to 241 kit,
In the center there is the 1 to 141, 1 to 200 in the back, 1 to 350 in the lower side right center, I'm sorry, center left. And then there's also a little tiny Millennium Falcon I got from Barnes & Noble in a kit that had that, and Poe's Speeder and a couple of other little pieces there. And I do have 2 more kits to do, or actually 2 more versions of the Millennium Falcon. I have the Micro Galaxy Squadron Millennium Falcon that just came out. That's kind of a build and play kit, and it's actually looks really quite nice from the reviews I've seen. I actually haven't opened the box yet, but at some point I will. And then I have the MPC 1 to 72 kit that just released from Polar Lights, with the refined sidewalls and some added detail, and I'm really excited about breaking into that one. Just not here in 2024, I don't think. That'll be probably a 2025 model kit. But from a Millennium Falcon standpoint, these kits really give you the spectrum of what you can do with a little bit of paint and a little bit of patience, some magnets, and most importantly with the weathering. And you can see that on the Bandai 144th kit there in the center with its big prominence, I did the most weathering on that. I spent the most time on it. I worked through that detail pretty well. One thing I didn't do was I didn't do any of the chipping on that, and I haven't done that in any model yet, and I'm working on how to figure that out next. The little 1 to 200 kit to the right, I've seen Eagle Models do that, and you know what? You can actually make that into a handy little kit. It's got a nice set of pieces to it, good detail. It does come painted, and all I did was weather over it, and I think that helped. But if you were going to do that, I'd prime it and repaint it and start from scratch, and it's certainly capable of being modified into a really nice kit. The Bandai 1350 and the Revell 1241, great kits, lots of fun, easy to do, very fast, and I would certainly recommend any of these kits to round out your Millennium Falcon collection. So let's move on to the reveal video. Thanks. Alright, so welcome to the reveal of the Millennium Falcon, the Bandai 144th Rise of Skywalker Levitating Edition. And here it is on the base. We're going to walk through a lot of the components that are on the base as we go back and forth across here. We'll talk a little bit more about the spaceships, and we'll talk about the challenges of that levitating device or product in order to levitate a product off of it. So, first of all, let's talk about some of the things that are aftermarket there that you can see. The first is the 2 little droid bots there in the front center, just above the Millennium Falcon logo. That logo was actually the Millennium Falcon plaque that comes in the photo etch set. So that turned out really nice. You bend it up and it gives a little 3D appearance. And then off to the left of that, you can also see that's the other base that would come with it, but it's got Star Wars script, and I thought that looked great. They're centered just behind the 2 little droid bots. You've got a couple of aftermarket Shapeways boxes that give you that shape and look and feel of the Star Wars universe, if you will. And again, if you remember, this is the Rise of Skywalker edition, where she returns to bury the 2 lightsabers in the sand next to that Quonset hut, or whatever you want to call it, the light gray sand piece that's to the right. And then she slides down the sand embankment into the abandoned subterranean home of Beru and Uncle Owen. So I just basically filled that piece up with sand and threw a couple of remnant evaporators and machinery, as you see in there, and just basically tipped the tips with red because that's where some lights would be. Towards the back, you've got a couple of just BNC connectors that you would use for that you would just use. You can see them silver there, that you would use for connecting up home cable. And then finally, far to the left in the back is that is a silo that I got from Walthings or Walters, and I had originally had that built up, but there was so little clearance that basically I just went with the cap. And that's kind of what you see in the Star Wars movie anyways, where he goes into the workshop and cleans where Luke goes into the workshop and cleans up the 2 droids, and they run the next day. And also there in the back is a Shapeways, right there in the back is the Shapeways evaporator coil or evaporator condenser for making water on the planet of Tatooine. And then one more little crate right there to the left or to the right of the workshop really will complete the base at that point. This is built on a wooden serving tray that's just been flipped upside down. And again, I drilled out the center of that and put in that that magnetic levitation platform underneath there. So again, as I mentioned, if I had put the Millennium Falcon, if I had put that magnet in the Millennium Falcon, you can see that you would have, you know, it pushes that down to where there's virtually no clearance. And now we're moving forward to the 1/350th scale kit on top of it. And you can see you gained almost a centimeter of space just because of the lighter, the much lighter ship right there. So you gain a centimeter between the magnet and that spaceship right there, or magnet in the sand, I should say. You can see the headlights, you can see the back of that light. It spins wildly because it's off balance and off center. But that's the 1/350 kit. Here I am now trying to put the 1/241 kit, and ta-da, this is it. This is a levitating spaceship with a magnet, with internal power, with internal recharging power, with internal lights, and it all came together in this little Millennium Falcon from Revell in the 1/241 size. So couldn't be more happy with that. It was a big challenge to bring that together, and once it stopped shaking back and forth, it actually just for some reason points towards the back. I don't know if that's an alignment issue or the way that the battery or the magnet is in the spaceship or what, and it also tilts down. But you know what? I was able to accomplish a floating Millennium Falcon that is levitated by magnetic levitation at that point. So you can see it came to a head with this little kit, and sorry for the people with motion sickness. But with the lights out, that back end looks really fantastic. The headlights look great. I did lose one of the red lights on, or maybe I lost a white light on that one. So, and then here again is the Bandai 1/44th with a little better camera. You can see that there isn't hardly any space between that magnet and the sand, so it was all we could do to get there. And then back to the little Revell 1/241 kit, and kind of showing that more in the daylight here. So let's let this speak for itself when we come to the 1/200 kit. So that was a lot of fun, and that is a toy, but I did try to diffuse those two. There's only 2 lights in the thing. I tried to diffuse them with a piece of styrene between there and the lens, and it still got kind of overloaded in that regard. But I was able to float the 1/200 kit on top of it, and there's the little Millennium Falcon from Barnes & Noble. And so, hey, we appreciate you coming along. Here's one last look at a floating Millennium Falcon with magnetic levitation. And, you know, Rey has just about to land, and she's off and running from there. So thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, your shares. Thanks for going through this frustration with me on this particular kit or set of kits. I got it done, and now I'm going to put it away and go do something easier and much more fun. And you'll see those videos post up here pretty soon too. But for now, thank you, and we will see you on the next one.